नमस्कार, स्वागत है आपका अपने पसंदीदा प्रोग्राम मेहमान में, जहां हम आपको मिलाते हैं किसी एक खास शख्सियत से। It is indeed my privilege and pleasure today to introduce to you in our studios Dr. Shovana Narayan, the doyen of dance, somebody whose name is synonymous with Kathak, and she's done trend-setting, outstanding work. बहुत स्वागत मैम आपका।
नमस्कार।
Thank you so much for joining me today. Even in pandemic times, we at Doordarshan try to bring art and culture to the world, to the populace, and it is our endeavor to show more and more of the spiritual and the ethnic glory and the ethos of our country. On that note, मैं आपसे पहले जानना चाहूँगी कि मैम कथक को आप किस तरह परिभाषित करेंगी? कथक यानी कथा।
कथक यानी कथा, लेकिन इसमें पूरा जीवन ही उसमें निहित है
जी।
क्योंकि उस कथा में क थ क उसमें एक स्थायीपन भी है और एक चक्र भी है
जी
कि चरैवेती, वो जीवन की चरैवेती, चलो जाओ चलते चलो, तो वो पूरा ही क थ क में निहित है। और साथ ही साथ I think, you know, within it encompasses all aspects of life, whether it is and it is a perfect yoga, I would say.
Yes.
Because it provides a person, and particularly to me, it means a lot. It is my life, it is my atma, it is my breath, it is my soul. And for me, और मेरे लिए तो वो एक योग का ही माध्यम है, एक योग ही है, क्योंकि उसमें शारीरिक, इमोशनल और स्पिरिचुअल मुझे तालमेल मिल जाता है, जहाँ हर एस्पेक्ट, जीवन के हर पहलू का एक समन्वय मिल जाता है। एंड मैं तो कहती हूँ कि ये पूरा स्पेस इज़ माय कैनवस। मेरी शरीर is my paintbrush.
Beautiful.
And my feelings, my emotions, and everything that I express through it is the coloring within it, the figures and the colors within it. And so we are drawing the colors, the pictures as we want in life through our actions.
बिल्कुल, जैसे आपने कहा योग is so central to our world view. Similarly, the entire cosmos comes into the dance.
Absolutely.
And ब्रह्मांड जैसे पूरा समा जाता है।
बिल्कुल।
और एक तरह से भारत की जो सतरंगी सभ्यता है उसको भी वो दर्शाता है।
क्या देखिए, हमारे पूर्वजों ने कहा है, हाँ। एकम सत विप्रा बहुधा वदन्ति। क्या आप उसको किसी भी नाम से पुकार लें, लेकिन वही तो एक सत्य है, वही एक सत्य।
बिल्कुल। मैं चाहूंगी आप शिव पे कुछ हमारे दर्शकों को शुरुआत में करके दिखाएं अपने अभिनय के साथ, एंड देन वील गो ऑन टू योर गुरु शिष्य परंपरा।
शिव हमारे आदिदेव, हमारे नटराज। इनफैक्ट हमारी जो इंडियन फिलॉसफी है, भारतीय दर्शन शास्त्र है, उसमें आप देखिए कि इतनी उसमें गहराई है, डेप्थ है, और शायद सोचने पर भी मजबूर कर देता है कि हमारे भारतीय दर्शन शास्त्र की तरह और कौन सा है कि जिसमें हमारे जितने देवी देवता है हमने उनको कलाकार के रूप में देखा है। शिव को हमने नटराज के रूप में देखा है, उनके हाथ में डमरू थमा दिया है। कृष्ण हमारे नर्तक हैं और उनके हाथ में बांसुरी है, और इसी तरह से हमारे सरस्वती, उनके हाथ में वीणा है, तो वो स्वर है। और तो अब जहाँ शिव की आपने बात कही, एक तो हमारा बहुत ही अजीज में मन चाहने वाला है और क्वाइट अ हॉट फेवरेट ऑफ माइन, वो रावण कृत रचना
हाँ,
जो है,
चलिए, वो
जटाटवी गलत जल प्रवाह पावित स्थले गले विलंब लंबताम भुजंग तुंड मालिकम डमक 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 निनाद डमक डमर वे चकार चंद तांडवम तनोतु न शिव शिवम जटाकटाह संभ्रम भ्रमण निल, वो चलता जाता है। और एक और है जो हमारे यहाँ शिव कवित परन है, धगित टिकिट तगिन नगिन घिन्नडान घिन्नडान धिकिट धान धुमकिट तकित धिकिट तनन धिकिट तन छत्रपति जगतपति देवपति महादेव धगित टिकिट धिकिट गले मुंडमा शोभित है चंद्रभाल धाकिट धुमकिट डमक डमक डमरू बजत विघ्न हर धावित दुख दूर कर धिकिट तनन तगिन दिगिन धित्ता किट नगिन नडा धिकिट धिकिन धिकिट धिगिन धिकिट धिगिन कटित तान धिकिट धान शारद ही करत गान गुणी जन सब करत ध्यान धाकिट धुमकिट गे कतान कटी मृतंग मजत सुभंग धाकिट धुमकिट गे नन धाकिट धुमकिट दा धाकिट धुमकिट दा धाकिट धुमकिट धाकिट धुमकिट दा धाकिट धुमकिट दा धाकिट धुमकिट धाकिट धुमकिट दा धाकिट धुमकिट दा धाकिट धुमकिट दा।
ब्यूटिफुल, आउटस्टैंडिंग। तो ये शिव को जिस तरह हम कहते हैं वरदाता, बिस्टोर ऑफ बून्स, एंड शिव के जो इतने सारे नाम हैं वो अकॉर्डिंग टू वेदास वो अगस्त ऋषि ने दिए हैं लॉर्ड शिव के जितने भी नाम, सोमेश्वराय है, रुद्र है,
108 है,
108 नाम जो हैं वो अगस्त ऋषि ने दिए हैं। इसी तरह जो सूर्य भगवान हैं उनकी जो डीटी है उसे लक्ष्मी नरसिम्हा कहते हैं, तो नरसिंह का रूप है वो,
नरसिंह का रूप एकदम, हम लोग जैसे नरसिंह अवतार जो चौथा अवतार है विष्णु के, नरसिंह अवतार जो, लेकिन हम तो इस तरह से दिखा रहे हैं लेकिन उसमें भी एक बात है,
बिल्कुल
बहुत गहराई है।
आपने जिस तरह शिव का दिखाया, मैंने कहीं पढ़ा है कि योर फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट वाज मैथमेटिक्स, तो मैथमेटिक्स का जो तालमेल है उसको आप अपने जीवन में डांस में किस तरह लेके आए, ये जानना चाहूंगी।
मैथमेटिक्स एंड फिजिक्स,
लॉजिकल रीजनिंग, यस,
लॉजिकल रीजनिंग। देखिए नृत्य में और सभी जगह आपको ताल और लय तो मिलेगी ही मिलेगी, पूरा अगर आप ताल लय ना हो तो वो
इट्स काउंटिंग ऑफ नंबर्स, राइट?
हाँ, इट इज काउंटिंग ऑफ नंबर्स। तो और अगर हम नृत्य में अगर हम बहुत ही इसको डीमिस्टिफाई करें और एकदम एक लेमन की भाषा में बात करें तो फिर देखिए ना, जब हम लोग तोड़े टुकड़े परन पिरमिलू वगैरह करते हैं तो वो क्या है, वो छोटे छोटे रिदमिक पैटर्न्स है, लेकिन उस रिदमिक पैटर्न्स में भी पूरा मैथमेटिक्स है। ये अगर हम कहें कि एक तो है 1 2 1 2 1 2 और एक है 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 3 4 5 6 7। अब ये मैं 3 में जा रही, उसी तरह से मैं 5 में जा सकती हूँ, 7 में जा सकती हूँ, 9 में जा सकती हूँ, तो इस तरह से तो इसके सब जातियाँ हम लोग कहते हैं। और अगर हम उसको देखें तो फिर हम अगर कोई चीज़ें भी कर रहे हैं तो कि अगर हम कह रहे ता थे तथे आ थे तथे थे 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 थे, ये तो आपका सिंपल 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 5 6 उसमें आता है। और अगर है ता थे तथे थे आ थे तथे थे, अब उसमें 1 2 3 4 5 6 1, लेकिन जा रहा है 1 2 3 4, तो उसमें ता थे तथे थे। हमारे यहाँ कोई सा भी अगर धा किट धा धा किट धा धा किट किट धा तिट धिता किता धी कीट धा दिनता किट धा दिनता तक धा दे तकिट दिकिट धाकिना तिट किता तकिट तकिट धागे तकिट 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 तक तक दिकिट धा निदा तकिट दिकिट धागे तकिना तकिट तकिट तक तक दिकिट धा निदा तकिट दिकिट धागे तकिट तकिट तक तक दिकिट धा निदा ताड़ दा कत धान धान दा ताड़ दा कत धान धान दा ताड़ दा कत धान धान दा।
ब्यूटिफुल, बहुत सुंदर, बहुत खूबसूरत।
तो फिर इसमें I was changing jatis without, you didn't realize it, because I was going from one jati to another. I could even do na 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 kit tak ta kit 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 ta ta ke te re ke te ta kit kit na na kit ta ta kit di di kit ta kit kit ding da da da. Now here all the 5 jatis are there.
Correct. So if we talk of jatis now, you've told it all. What about gharanas? You have the Lucknow gharana and the various other gharanas of Kathak. Can you tell us some features of both?
Well, actually, in a sense, they're all Kathak. It's just a different emphasis. That's all. And the emphasis of, like Lucknow gharana, there's a lot of emphasis on ada and grace and the movement of the kalais, and they believe that the ang is also a kavya. It is a poetry by itself. Even the entire body, every movement is a poetry in itself. And it should be, so there's a lot of emphasis. And then of course on abhinay, there's a lot of, but also there's an equal emphasis on rhythmic aspect, whether it is the rhythmic virtuosity. And in Jaipur Gharana also there's a lot of emphasis on rhythmic virtuosity, and so is it in Banaras Gharana. These are the three predominant. There is a fourth one, the Raigad Gharana. But however, there's a little bit of difference in the words. Like for example, certain phrases, you'll always associate it with the Gharana. For example, tram, ta, ta, that kind of a thing. Tram, thay, ta, thay. Now, this you won't have it in the Lucknow Gharana. This would be there in the Jaipur Gharana. For example, in Raigad Gharana, the emphasis that even a rhythmic pattern is actually speaking. There is a imagery behind it. So that is why you'll have Dal Badal Paran, Bagula Paran, Bijli Paran, things like that. So, and in Banaras Gharana, सब लोग तो वही कर रहे हैं, वही ताथे थे तत है, वही धा दिन दिन दा है, the same thing, वही धत्ताम है, वही धाता कथुंगाज है, लेकिन बस करने का वो एक ढंग जो है वो अलग है, फिनेस सब में है और तैयारी सब में है. अब बनारस घराना का अपना एक there's an ullas, there's a different kind of an enthusiasm in their dance.
Did you ever in your childhood ever think that you'll walk away with so much acclaim, applaud, and get the Padma Shri and represent India and be an ambassador of this beautiful art form to international audiences? How do they react when they see you?
For me, what was important was not that I have to do this. My only thing I have to do was my devotion to dance. I knew that I could not spend a day without dancing. That I think, so for me,
that sums it up.
That sums it up. For me, dance is my life, as I told you. It is my puja. So it's my puja that I do every day. I'm just a pujari, a devotee. Now, to answer the second question about how in other countries abroad, I think they are very, very taken in with our arts. It is different, and yet it is so detailed, very detailed.
They understand it.
In fact, there's one thing nice about them. The Western audience, when they are coming to watch a performance, they are actually interested. They come out of curiosity, so they read up about it and they understand. Now, when we are there, now, for example, for us, the moment I'm singing, say, Jasoda Hari, Hari Palane Jhulave. Now, I will just do Jasoda Hari or Hari Palane Jhulave, or I'll just do Hari, I will know. So everybody knows I'm talking about Krishna, I'm talking about a woman, Jasoda. Now for them, they would not know what is this, because this is a very Indian specific mudra. And so there I will, and if I'm saying, now this is the Janeyu. So here, now this Janeyu is something that they are not familiar with. It's not part of the culture. Whereas if I have to show a Brahmin or some kind of, a sage or something, if I'm doing this, or, we have our culture specific mudras. So that culture specific mudra is not actually known to them. So perhaps there I have to explain it. The basic mudras. Once I give the outline of the mudra, I have yet to see an audience lapping it up like that. It's amazing.
And it's so wonderful,
Irrespective whichever
enthralling.
part of the world it is, because finally it is human emotions. We are all human beings. We all have same emotions all over the world. A smile is a smile for everyone. An anger, a look of anger is the same for everyone. You know, so you
They
understand.
identify with
They
this.
identify with the emotions, they identify. So once they've got the outline of the story, here I just say Sita Haran and they'll know it. But there you'll have to explain what is Sita. But here also, let me tell you, if I picked up an obscure episode or an incident from any of our main text, say even from
Mahabharata, Ramayana
Tulsidas
or
or
anywhere, yes.
exactly. Not many people are familiar with it. So even here you have to explain the outline of that incident and the text. So it is so with them, and it's been amazing. The response has been amazing.
Now, if we talk
Amazing.
of Indian audiences, मैं राम की बात कर रही हूँ अभी, कौशल्या नंदन, वैदेही मोहन, रघुनंदन, जानकी राम, राजीव लोचन, आप किस तरह समझाएंगी राम को?
लोक अभिरामम रणरंग धीरम राजीव लोचनम रघुवंश नंदनम
हाँ, रघुवंश
रघुवंशनाथम कारुण्य रूपम करुणाकरम तम राय श्री रामचंद्र शरणम प्रपद्ये श्री रामचंद्रम शरणम प्रपद्ये श्री रामचंद्रम शरणम प्रपद्ये.
बहुत सुंदर. तो जो आर्ट फ्रेटर्निटी है उसको आपने काफ़ी वेबिनार्स किए हैं इस ड्यूरेशन में, ड्यूरिंग द लॉकडाउन पीरियड ऑल्सो एंड लेटर ऑल्सो. तो किस तरह उन आर्टिस्ट को आप चाहती हैं कि सपोर्ट मिले, या आप कर रही हैं सपोर्ट? हाउ इज़ दैट हैपनिंग, बिकॉज अ लॉट ऑफ देम आर इन डायर स्ट्रीट्स.
All artists are self-employed.
जी.
I would say 99% of the artists are all self-employed. And yes, we hear of the main artists. Main artists may have the
Brand and the selling.
The brand and the selling. But you know, behind that, behind any art, in the art world, behind the main artist, you have so many others. Now, once, if an artist is booked, suppose if I am booked for a performance, along with me are my 4 musicians that I would be booking. There would be a light designer, a technical director, you know, a backstage. So along with that, the organizers will have the stage, there is a makeup person. So you have a whole industry behind it, a whole infrastructure behind it. Now, all of them were badly affected. So
Are badly affected.
are badly affected. They are really in a bad need. And so some of them are actually, and all of them, you know, are living from performance to performance, from one booking to another booking. And now they just didn't know what hit them overnight. There was no, you know, sort of help coming. And I must say, kudos to all the artists, the artist fraternity. They got together, everyone according to their means, you know, whatever they helped one another. I'm helping out, you know, so many families.
आपने कई क्लाइमेट इश्यूज पे काम किया है, and how would you know, encapsulate this particular phase, if I were to request you? COVID-19, the SARS-2 virus, I mean, and the earth crying out. आपने कितने सारे socio-economic causes भी किए हैं. Which of them would you like to share with us now?
You know, first of all, let me say that in 1982, when nobody talked about environment, I did my first dance production on the subject of environment called the Shantar, that we have to change our direction, where we are going, in which direction we have to, disha mein antar lana hai. And then I take that indiscriminate felling of trees, playing with a green cover, playing with, and then that leads to a lot of the vicious cycle of, taking undue advantage of women, children, and, you know, bonded labor and things like that, etc. Since one has grown up in an environment where Indian philosophy was part of my upbringing. I grew up with Gita, shlok ringing in my ears. Sthane Hrishikesh tava prakritya. So the 11वां अध्याय, and so on and so forth. So it kept on, and my mother being totally into Indian philosophy, Sanskrit literature, so that was the basic grounding at home. And so every day we would be discussing, and then suddenly she said, look at what we are doing is taking away the environmental cover. And then when I was doing this Draupadi Chir Haran, the conventional Gadbhav of Draupadi Chir Haran, suddenly, my mother particularly pointed out, she said, can you correlate it with Draupadi? I said, actually, yes.
Yes. I can.
Yes. So we are doing the same.
To our Mother Earth.
Yes, to our Mother Earth. We are the modern day Dushasan. And then at that point of time, digging. Dr. L.M. Singhvi, the well-known jurist, who died.
Yes.
And he had written a beautiful poem. So when he heard our thoughts, he says, I've just written a poem and here it is. And I do that every day.
Can we have some?
It just says, दुशासन बस करो, दुशासन बस करो, धरती का चीर हरण मत करो, दुशासन बस करो, धरती का चीर हरण मत करो, फिर द्वापर को दोहराने का दुस्साहस मत करो, दुशासन बस करो, बस करो, बस करो.
कितना सुंदर है.
So, and this is a long poem. So imagine this was way back in the 80s. Then there was another one that made me even think deeper. और फिर जब हम
पानी के साथ
एग्जैक्टली जब हम कालिया दमन कर रहे थे, कृष्ण का जो है वो कालिया दमन कर रहे हैं, तो कालिया का वध तो नहीं करते हैं, उनको नथते हैं, तभी तो वो नथ के उन पर और उनके फन के ऊपर नाचते हैं, तांडवगत मुंडन पर. So वो हम लोग का, तो उसमें the whole thing was that aren't we the modern day Kaliyas?
Yes.
We are the modern day Kaliyas कि हम प्रदूषण फैला रहे हैं, दूषित कर रहे हैं पानी को. We are spreading poison in our water through, whatever.
All toxics.
Yes, exactly, toxic materials, etc.
Two short questions I'll have to take with you. One is on the Guru Shishya Parampara. Do you think this parampara is still there or is it dying?
When you, first of all, may I ask a counter question?
Please.
What do you think is the Guru Shishya Parampara?
Guru ka adar, Guru ka samman.
So if it is just adar and samman, that should be there.
Yes.
It is a universal.
It is eternal.
It is eternal. Eternal and universal and eternal. So that has not changed at all. And let me tell you, unless the Guru is not there to actually, and there too, online is not enough. You ask them, if you're saying this and ki haath kholo, now what do they haath kholo? No yaar, यहाँ इतना खोल, ये यहाँ झुको या यहाँ झुको, या you ask them to झुको, right, and they झुको somewhere else, and then you say ऊपर, then they do this ऊपर or something.
These are the traumas of not being able to
exactly.
take
So
a
what you want
class.
to do,
yes.
you have to correct it. The positioning has to be correct. The way you're looking, you're saying look above, just and here, and where the nose and the jahan, we have this saying in
yes.
Sanskrit from the which was given in the Abhinay Darpan, that where the hand goes, the eyes follow. So, and where the eyes follow, the man follows, and where the man follows, the bhav follows, and where the bhav follows, the rasa follows.
Correct.
So therefore, so that is something. Now you tell them that here it is, and if you're taking your hand, take it there. So they'll do. I said, look, face went first, hands came later. Now please correct it.
So there also you need a guru. Absolutely.
You need somebody to guide you, direct you, to channelize you the correct path, etc. You cannot do without a guru.
Bilkul. You've balanced both your careers so beautifully. You're one as a bureaucrat and one as a dancer, and I think you've really excelled in both. But if given a choice, which one would you choose and why, and how would you like to inspire people to take up dance? Because I know you're going to choose dance.
I would choose both actually.
Yes.
Because I've never regretted anything that I've, sort of the paths that I've chosen, because I loved my studies, my academics. I loved the work that I did because it gave me a beautiful view from another side. So it was an experience, a view, and something which is beautiful, a learning experience. Dance is something which it's like as I said, my breath. So I can't live without my breath. So for me, dance is always there with me. I would always be a dancer in whichever janam, even in my whatever janam I will be. I'm sure even in the past I was a dancer. I am a dancer. I will be a dancer, and I must have been also something to do with academics or using my other aspect of my cells. So I must have been doing both, and I was doing it in this life, and perhaps will be doing that in the next lives also.
And on that pragmatic note, thank you so much for joining us for this very insightful conversation, and more power to you, more success to you.
Thank you so much.
And more dance to you.
Absolutely. That is something, oh God, for me, that's
Yes.
I thank God for making me what He did and for allowing me to serve Him. And I want to serve Him till my last dying breath through my dance.
So you just saw the doyen of dance, Dr. Shovana Narayan, in conversation with us at Mehman. इसी के साथ दीजिए पूरी टीम को इजाजत। आप देखते रहिए मेहमान। नमस्कार।